Welcome to the Chronically Well podcast, where we have real conversations with community that need to be heard. On today's episode, I have the honor of speaking with Shanell. Shanell, after looking at you here, I remember Shanell from the diabetic online community, and it's probably been a few years now. You've been in rotation. Even though everyone I follow and everyone that follows me is somehow T1D related, but I do remember you. So I did want to tap into this conversation to get to know a little bit more about you and just to share with the world who you are as a person, not just a person with diabetes, but just as a human being.
Sure.
So could you please share with our viewing audience, our listening audience, who you are?
Yes. Okay, so my name is Shanell Becton, 35 years old, and I will start with the diabetic part of things. I've been diabetic since 2001. I was diagnosed at 12 years old, and been living with it, ups and downs from it, but it made me who I am today, which is strong. I currently attend school full-time for entertainment, for business, entertainment, and media. So I'm very much into just getting into the entertainment world, but on a more positive side of things and a more authentic side of things. And wanting to be a voice for people like us, people that or people that are dealing with diabetes, especially juvenile diabetes, because it's not talked about as much in mainstream media. So that is one of my main objectives and goals in life, is to get that out there for people to get the proper education and feel and know that they're not alone out here. I have a son, he's 4 years old, and I'm married, been married 5 years now. And we can get into some things about everything because I've recently been kidney transplanted due to chronic illness and survived, and I'm thriving. So it's a little bit about myself.
Shanell, I truly thank you for gifting us who you are and being unapologetically yourself, because you kept reiterating that you're going to share basically with the audience who you are. You kept on saying, and I took down some key notes because I can sense like you have zero fears when it comes to being unapologetically yourself.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. But before I tap into that, I want to congratulate you on this being your Jordan year, living with type 1 diabetes. Jordan year, that's greatness.
Yes.
Still here. 23 years is a lot. I can't match your 23 years. I can't. So it'll be 22 years for me.
Oh, that's
in March. So
okay. You're right there on the cusp. And I was going to say, and I got diagnosed the day after Halloween at 12 years old.
The day after Halloween. And
November 1st, 2021.
Who tried to blame it on the candy?
I don't know, but I have a story about that too, with how I was feeling while I was trick-or-treating, which if we get into symptoms and how you feel prior to being diagnosed, for people to look out for. It was traumatic trick-or-treating for me, walking with what was going on with me. So it'll make more sense.
Right. You probably had this elevated blood sugar that,
yes.
And to others, I mean, people may have noticed it, but just that inner feeling of that grogginess, your body draining, basically you're dying.
We're going to get into all that. Yeah. I will say that night my leg went numb on me. Like it didn't want to move. And as a 12-year-old, I didn't know what was going on. And of course, I was in Rochester, so it was snowing, and I was, my cousins and my mom and aunt, we were all trick-or-treating, and they're like, "Come on, girl, like what's wrong?" I'm like, "No, my leg is literally numb. It won't move." And eventually it was stiffed up. And I didn't know why, but when I got diagnosed the next day, it was a result of the high blood sugar, extremely high. Yeah.
So you're from Rochester, New York?
Yeah. Originally.
Okay, I have some friends from Rochester, New York. Well, former coworkers, a young lady.
Yeah.
So if you know, I mean, her name is like one of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I live in Atlanta. I should have said that. I've been in Atlanta for since 2005. So I've been in Atlanta for almost 20 years, you know. So
Okay.
this is home, but I'm originally from Rochester, New York.
Right. So you spent most of your high school years in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You were
Yep.
there. You were there since you were what, 16?
Yep. Yeah.
So you're an Atlanta transplant.
I am
All right.
basically, basically, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, literally, you spent probably more time there than in New York now. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
16, 19 years. Right.
Yeah. That's true.
Um, upon your diagnosis at 12 years young, well,
Hmm.
first, look, 12 years young for a young lady,
Hmm.
you have so many other things coming your way,
Seventh grade.
hormonal,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
many different obstacles, so many obstructions that are in front of you.
Yes.
And it's like near impossible to say, oh, it's because of diabetes or because of a health problem, because you got so many other things. Like, you're like, is this normal what I'm going through?
Now we can get into what I was feeling like and what happened.
Right. Because
And what, yeah.
I
Whenever you're,
have I have a first cousin who was diagnosed at 12 years young. That's what I say, 12 years young.
yeah.
And she's going through many complications. And I try to re-educate to her that it's not at your own fault. It's not your fault that you weren't given this education and resources, the dire need
Hmm.
to take on this massive responsibility
At such a young age.
at such a young age. Like, imagine Shanell being 12 years old and told, like, you got to take care of an infant.
Hmm.
Like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
But not just taking care of it for that one day, but you got to take care of an infant every day for the remainder of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what living with type 1 diabetes is.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, so yeah, I commend you on that. And at that time, did you have like a great family support system?
Yes. I had my mom and my dad, and they were, I have younger, they're not so young now, but they're a younger generation of parents. So like at the time, my mom was only, when I was 12, my mom was only like 29, you know, 30, not even. And my dad, so they were young. They didn't know anything about this. Um, and then ironically, again, my mom's birthday is on Halloween. So I, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I do want to talk about what led up to me realizing something was wrong.
Could you please share that?
Yes. So that summer, I was visiting a family member in Memphis, Tennessee, and I just noticed all summer long that I was very thirsty all the time, extremely thirsty. I would literally be asleep at night and wake up from my sleep and be like drinking whatever my aunt had in her refrigerator, whether it was water, whatever. I mainly wanted water because I wanted something to quench my thirst. But I would literally drink up to a gallon overnight of water and just be peeing, urinating all night, all day. So that's not normal because, you're young. Most people don't even like water. But I'm like extremely thirsty every day. And then, I knew that was weird. And then I was feeling funny inside. It's something about your body. It tells you when something is wrong. But being young, like you said, and that young, you really don't know. So I come home after summer vacation. Immediately when my mom saw me, she was like, you look so frail. Like, were you eating there? And I'm like, yeah, I was eating good because I love to eat. She's like, no, you very skinny, like too skinny. So a couple weeks went by, and I'm noticing I'm still very thirsty all the time. I'm just drinking, drinking, drinking. Whenever I can drink, I'm drinking a lot. Nothing is ever fulfilling me, and it just wasn't normal. So me and my mom had a talk, and she was like, okay, well, some of her coworkers told her that those are signs of diabetes. And she was like, well, I don't think you have that. You know, of course, people don't like to think the worst of things. But she was like, I'm going to set an appointment for you just in case. We just want to make sure because something's not right. And literally the day that I was set to have my appointment, my mom was going to change her mind because it was her birthday and she had plans. And I went to school and I talked to my mom after school and she was like, yeah, let's try to do it another day. I'm like, I literally was almost crying on the phone. Like, no, mom, something's not right. I need to find, it's been a whole couple months since summer vacation. Let's see what's going on with my body. I'm not feeling this. So she literally was like, okay, let's go. Went, told the doctors everything. And they said, yeah, thirst, continuous thirst, loss of weight, numbness feeling in your body because basically your muscles are like with so much sugar in your body, it causes your muscles to not operate accordingly and stiff up. So much things can happen without knowing that you're diabetic and just living with it. That's why it's important to get checked. Once they checked my blood sugar, my sugar was like 798. So we know that's extremely high. For those that don't know, you shouldn't have back then a sugar higher than 140. So at 798, that was extreme. They admitted me to the hospital immediately, and that's where it all began.
798. I remember my diagnosis. The max that the meter they use will go up to was 500. So on my intake and discharge forms, it reads that my glucose levels was 499 because they didn't put the 500 because they said that was the max it could read.
They can even read, yeah.
Right. But I equally have a similar story to your own about you told your mom, you were like, there's no waiting here. The summer done passed. We're a few weeks into the school year, and all these conversations I've had, many of them were post being on vacation, being away, and coming back home. I have a very similar story with I don't know if you know Don. Don Kirkland.
Don Kirkland. Sound familiar.
He spent some time in Atlanta. He's in California now. But he was talking about how he spent time with his family down south, and his mom, upon seeing him coming from vacation, coming back home, she was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah,
like really. And I remember the day I got diagnosed. Like I went to my dad and told him, like, I don't know what's going on with me. I need to go to the hospital. I feel very sick. I can't sleep, urinating nonstop, so thirsty. And like he looked at me directly and was like, "You have diabetes." He told me. And I can mention mom again. She was young.
Yeah, she was young.
29. She probably had limited to no experience of it other than like, yeah, old people get diabetes.
Yes. Yep. That's all most people know. Not people, especially in our community, they're not used to children getting diagnosed. Now, I saw in elementary school, there was a girl who was like in the kindergarten and she was diabetic. And I remember vividly her mom, this is so crazy. Her mother would read the back of the, cartons and stuff to make sure her carb count and stuff.
The nutrition labels.
Yeah. And I used to, in my head, be like, what's wrong with her? Like, why her mom has to do that? And then someone else, well, she's diabetic. And I remember from that day, I was like, I don't want to be diabetic. I don't want to have to live my life doing that. Like, I don't want to have to, and then not being able, as a kid, you're like, I can't eat sugar anymore. Like, you're thinking all this stuff that really don't matter. We don't need that anyway. But it's like it sat with me all the way until I got diagnosed. It's so weird. Just think about that girl and how young she was.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Look, I had a conversation yesterday with a young man in his 20s, and he said that he had kidney failure. And I said, are you a diabetic? And he said, no. This is his response, direct response. He said, no, I love sugar too much to be a diabetic. He said that, and that made me think, yeah, exactly.
That's very backwards because you love sugar too much. And we know type 1 is not necessarily diagnosed because of high eating of intake of sugar. It's
Right.
really your pancreas stop producing insulin. That's the difference between type 1 and type 2.
Right.
So, with that being said, my doctor told me when I was diagnosed, they actually don't know what causes it. They don't know what causes our pancreas to stop working like it should, stop generating insulin on its own. So that's why we have to, inject it within ourselves. It's just a random thing. They don't know how long I was diabetic. They don't know. I mean, at 12, I could have been diabetic for 2 years. I know I probably would have felt something by then, so hopefully it wasn't that long, but they don't know. They don't know when it comes to type 1 what causes the stop of insulin being delivered to our pancreas.
So it's directly it's your islet beta cells. They produce the hormone insulin.
Yeah.
And once your islet beta cells stop functioning,
Hmm.
there's no production of insulin.
Yeah.
And
What
your,
causes it to stop?
so your islet beta cells are within your pancreas. And once we become type 1 diabetic, there's other um things that stop functioning as well. Like there's another hormone called amylin.
Hmm.
Amylin dictates if you're full or not.
Right.
We
Right.
don't we lack that as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's no tentative agreement, as I would say, like scientifically on what causes that
Hmm.
stoppage, or but for the most part, it could be genetic. Um
They say,
yeah, because it's autoimmune.
yeah.
Most all autoimmune conditions are genetic somewhere along the line, but you may have not had someone in your family history who had type 1 diabetes.
So this is the thing. I have like a very distant cousin who's older than me. That is like by my mom's side, who was her dad's great nephew, who was type 1 diabetic. And we found out. And it's like, okay, it probably skipped everybody and then jumped to me.
Mm.
And here I am. And after me, nobody else has been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So
That's how it is.
that was a
I
little
mean, look, I didn't know my first cousin. I don't know. It took years before I found out that she was a type 1 diabetic because she lives in North Carolina and she's 8 years younger than me.
mm-hmm.
But through the heart of the pandemic via ancestry.com, I
Mm-hmm.
found out that my great grandmother, who passed in 1954, was a
Mm-hmm.
type 1 diabetic.
Mm.
Yeah, that's due to acidosis.
Yeah. Oh man, generation.
Yeah, yeah. And then my grandma, her daughter, when she was going through treatment for brain cancer in 2003 or
Mm-hmm.
2000 between 2001 2002, she passed in 2003. When she was going through treatment, like she was diagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
So something triggered that hormonal response to stop our islet beta cells from functioning. That's why they say right now, today, the only functioning cure would either be a pancreas transplant or somehow to get those islet beta cells transplanted and regenerated.
Yeah. And then when I got my kidney transplant, which was very successful, I had my 1 year anniversary of that transplant in June of this year. I do qualify for a pancreas. So, and yeah, if you get a pancreas, you don't have to worry about this, stuff basically anymore. You do have to take medicine. You have to take anti-rejection meds
Mhm.
so that your body doesn't reject the new pancreas. That's what I have to do now with my kidney. I have to take a couple of meds, couple of pills daily, every day for the rest of my life though. And what they do is they just because our bodies only recognize what's inside of us. So you put something foreign, like another person's organ is a foreign object, it'll try to fight it. So you have to suppress your immune system, which is crazy because like around this time, people want to have good, strong immune systems because of illnesses, sickness, viruses and stuff. But you can't have a strong immune system because it will attack your organs. So you have to take these medicines. And one of the medicines that I'm on is called prednisone. It's a steroid. And
It makes your blood sugar rise.
It does, but I'm so good because of the Omnipod. It controls so well. So my glucose numbers are really good. The only thing with that is you have like I have this thing called moon face. So my face is like really kind of, you might not realize it, but it's like swole. It's a steroid. So it makes certain parts of your body develop fat where it normally wouldn't, like my chin and stuff. So, but you know what? I'm not complaining because I'm still here and I was on dialysis. And that's why with diabetes, it started from diabetes. And I had a time in my life where I was a little uncontrolled when it comes to staying on top of my sugars. Okay. I was in my 20s. I was living it up. I was drinking, partying, and I didn't realize my blood pressure started to get high, through that. And the longer your blood pressure, is high, the more it affects your organs. And that's what happened. So I was living life, not realizing it was affecting my blood pressure. I wasn't taking meds for the blood pressure. And ultimately it led to kidney failure. And from there, it continued to kind of go down slowly. But it was after I had my child in 2020 during COVID, it went from 30% function to 5%. So they had to put me on the dialysis machine immediately. And so I was on dialysis for 2 years, and it was a lot. It was a lot for my body. And so what I want to get out of this podcast personally is just to share that I hope people take their health serious. And if you already have diabetes, please just keep up with your blood pressures. Take medicine if you do have high blood pressure because it will affect your organs. I've had eye surgery because of this. It affected my eyes. I had cataract. I don't look like what I've been through, but I've been through a lot. Eye surgeries, kidney transplants. I mean, yeah. But I'm
Like you said, you've been through a lot. You've been through all the battle scars and wars of living with this chronic health condition, and you want to gift to the community. Yes, gift it to them. Like
yeah,
here you go. Take these jewels, take these gems, learn with them, educate yourself. Here's this package. It's
yeah,
not, I don't want it to be a surprise. I want
yeah.
to tell you what's inside here.
I do.
If you can follow these steps, you can be at your best.
You can be
Um,
at your best.
I wish those 19 years ago, or oh no, 22 years ago, sorry, 22 years ago, when you were diagnosed and continuing moving forward during your diagnosis, through the years, through the teenage years, through the adolescent, young adult years, that you had that resource, you had someone seriously who looked like you,
Mm-hmm.
had a peer who was also going through it, had that community that we can build today, especially via social media, that
And I didn't have
community
that.
that could share with you, like,
Mm-hmm.
we can be better. We will
Yeah,
be. And
yeah,
you are a resource today.
yeah,
And I hope that people listening to this will be able to take that and roll with it instead of being rolled over.
yeah. Yeah. There's so many people like us out here. You'll be surprised. Like you said, you didn't know your cousin had it. And I think a lot of people don't like to share it. I was in a situation where I didn't share that I had diabetes and it could have killed me because my friend, when my sugar was dangerously low, she gave me insulin thinking that was going to help me. And it literally had me in comatose status. Like I was seeing lights because my sugar went low in my sleep. And you know how that is. Your body tells yourself to wake up and get something to drink or eat to bring it back up. But in this state, I guess I went to sleep and my sugar was already probably like 60 or something and continuously going down. And she saw me, I couldn't talk. Like I had a moment. I don't know if you ever had that happen to you.
I
Where
have. I
yeah,
have.
I couldn't even get the words out. And so she's like, I don't know what to do. So she gave me more insulin, Novolog. And I just remember ambulances and they kept giving me stuff, but I start to feel better, but I wasn't feeling better. And They were about to leave. They were like, just keep giving her soda, keep giving her this. And as soon as they were leaving out, she mentioned, well, I gave her more insulin. I think she was scared to tell them that. And they were like, you did what? And they just hurry up and put me on a stretcher. And they start putting all this IV stuff, to help my sugar come up. And it's just like they vocalize.
Glucagon.
Yes, they vocalize to me. Please tell people, don't be ashamed. Tell especially the closest ones around you, what you're dealing with and how to handle it if this happens. Because if we didn't know that she gave you more insulin, 9 times out of 10, you would have probably went into a deep, low sugar that might not have been able to bring you back. So you have to be careful. We have to be careful with being so secretive about that.
Right. From the outside looking in to someone who's not familiar with someone who's insulin dependent, they look at that insulin as a rescue.
Yeah.
Almost like you would an EpiPen or an inhaler, things of that nature.
That's
When
exactly.
it is a rescue.
It can be, yeah.
But it can also, as much as it helps us, it can also kill us and harm us.
Yeah. And I think people they're not educated on that because they're used to type 2. They're used to grandma, eating too much sugar, cut it back. But it's times where we need sugar. Like I might eat something, somebody's like, you don't need that. I'm like, yes, I do. Like, I'm about to pass out. I literally need this soda right now. I don't like drinking sodas, but I need it because my sugar is low. I could feel it. So there's a lot of education needed. And then like we see a lot of commercials and they just talk about type 2, type 2, type 2. Use this is only for type 2. It's like they just leave us stranded, but we are warriors and we can live a long time. And I had an endocrinologist that was diabetic and she's 60 something. And, of course she probably has a lot of good resources, but being a doctor, but she's like, you could live long. You could live long. Just moderate and control your sugars.
Yeah, because today the average life expectancy of a person living with type 1 diabetes is nearing that of a person not living with diabetes because we have resources available to
Yes.
us so that we can be at our best. Like we
Yes.
can stay in this target glucose range today,
Yep.
where someone who's pre-diabetic, type 2 pre-diabetic, they don't know what those numbers
Right.
mean, or
Yeah.
like they're not able to see them. They
Yep.
could already be going through the heart failure, the kidney failure,
Yep.
and things like that. But today we're able to see them because when I think back on you 22 years ago, Shanell, I say, today, a child who is newly diagnosed, not only are they leaving the hospital with the best insulin, the CGMs, all of those things, but they're also getting that continued review of not only their blood sugar, but their kidney function.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
getting those readings all the time with when they get those A1Cs, they're getting all of those readings as
Yep.
well. They're getting their eyes checked and screened often.
Yep.
That's something that they're given today, which 22, 23 years ago,
It was limited.
it was limited,
Yeah.
especially coming from the communities which I come from. And I don't know exactly where you come from, but if you come from the city, like urban areas, certain things weren't readily available for us.
Right.
Our parents may have to outsource that information.
Yeah.
And that's only if they knew that information was there.
Yeah. And this is money game too. Like this stuff is expensive for us to stay alive. Like these medicines without insurance cost like almost ridiculous amounts of money just to stay alive.
Right.
So.
Right. And today, like I tell everyone, diabetes it is a great burden.
Yeah.
It is a great burden when we consider
I have a joke about that. I always tell people when you're diabetic, the good thing about that is you get to have extra snacks. So like I'll be in like meetings or I might be somewhere important and they know I'm diabetic. They're like, oh, you can bring some snacks. I mean, I might not have a sugar low, but I can snack a little bit. So I'm like, we got some perks to this thing. When I was in school, middle and high school, I was able to eat when everybody else wasn't, you know? So it's this little stuff you have to make light of and joke and have and make you, you know, not feel so bad about your situation. You look at the plus and the positive of it. And like someone, like you said, kind of brushing on that, us being diabetic, my doctor told me it's like what we are supposed to live like without diabetes, pretty much.
That's what
So
we're doing.
that's what we're doing. So it's don't look at it as like, oh my God, why us? It's really how people are supposed to eat. You're not supposed to eat crazy carbs and starch and sugars, even though we all still indulge sometimes, but you are supposed to, as your body, your temple, eat good. So this is just something that's making us do that for the most part.
Right, limited, in moderation. Look, sometimes we do indulge when we're around our family, our peers, co-workers at parties, like festivals, things
Thanksgiving.
like that. Like
Yeah.
we're allowed to. We're human.
Yeah, we're human.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need the food police telling us what we can't do
Yeah. We still
because
gotta
we're
live life.
trained.
Yeah, yeah.
Like even more so than many nutritionists, dietitians. Like we know this.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's plenty of times I had appointments and some of they're not specialists, they don't know. I had to like, I've been hospitalized and they're like, I'm like, that's not how I do my insulin. Like, y'all, you can't mess me up because I know what I take and I know how much. So I've been living with this since I was 12, you know, and they'll try to push you into what they think you need to do, but it's like, no, because that's going to mess me up. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that whole hospital or emergency protocol is something that many people are unaware of. Like I've created a one pager just for that because 9 out of 10 people that are type 1 diabetic that get treated in a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
they're given the standard
Mm-hmm.
type 2 regimen.
Mm-hmm.
They'll
Yep.
be like,
Yep.
oh, we're going to get you on a sliding
Fire
scale. We're
scale.
going to
Yep.
give you this long acting insulin. We're going to
Yep.
only give you corrections when you're above 250.
Yep. And I
Like,
always was curious about that because, you know, I just started I was so old school. I just started the Omnipod and the CGM within the past 24 months. So I was like nervous to start something new because I've always done traditional needle sticks and fingerprints and stuff. But I knew I wanted something different to help me out because my sugars were high or too low, high. And it was just, I was crashing all the time. It just don't feel good. So like I said, the Omnipod has been miraculous in the way my sugars have been going. The CGM has been such an improvement overall. My A1C stays 6.7, no higher than 7. So it's extremely a benefit. But I wonder, like, when you go to the emergency room in those situations, how do they? Because you know, a lot of times they don't want something giving you medicine; they want to give it to you. So how does
that's how
that?
it is. So you are able to, as you can say that you want to administer your own insulin. You can
Mm,
tell them that if you are alert and aware or and are capable of doing that, you
mhm,
can. You will have to sign off on an agreement, the
mm,
NDA basically, that you're
yeah.
going to do that.
Okay.
Um, and because typically they'll want to remove your pump, your
Yeah.
CGM, all of
Yeah.
those things. More modern hospitals will let you. They will promote for you to keep your CGM. They would just ask to be able to follow you to keep to
The
be
numbers.
aware of those
Check your
numbers and
numbers.
those alerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the majority of them, do not want people wearing insulin pumps.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. Sure.
Right. So like I've advocated for many people that have been hospitalized. And that's why I did create a one pager. I'll share it with you after this recording,
Mm.
where it actually lets people know that like this is like these are the standards of my care. I did want to tap into something. I had took a note. You said you've only been using technology for the last 24 months, correct?
Mm-hmm. It's been less than 2 years.
Less than 2 years.
Mm.
What Why is that?
Just stuck on being traditional, scared to take a risk and not not work out the way that I'm used to doing it for like so many years. until someone was like, you have to try this, especially after the kidney transplant. So, yeah. And it was the
So,
best decision I made.
and I tell people it's almost like once you're introduced to technology, it's almost like it's a new diagnosis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you mean to tell me that at 2 a.m. in the morning, my blood sugar is going high, and then by 6 a.m. it's dropping low? Like, who knew that?
It's a roller
All
coaster.
these years, who really knew that unless we were doing that finger prick? Like, we did not know those things. And that's something I like try to share with the community because I have so many people reaching out saying like, um, I was thinking about getting a pump or a CGM, but I don't I don't see how I can do any better. And I'm like, look, Shanell, you went 21 years plus without that technology.
Mm-hmm.
Look, myself, I went 19 plus years without that technology.
Mm-hmm.
And today, knowing those numbers, like, I don't see how I went all those years without it.
Exactly.
I would never go back if given a choice.
And I think they had a pump because, like, right when I got diagnosed in 2001, they had just came out with a pump, the first pump. But it was nothing like it is today, of course, because the phones weren't even like this.
Right. In
So
2001, I'm going to guess the pump that they probably told you about probably was the Animus Ping. So
probably,
the Animus Ping was very popular in the early 2000s. And then after that, it was Medtronic pumps.
yeah, Medtronic after that. Yeah.
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 But what you said you're on an Omnipod 5 now?
Yep. Omnipod 5, G7, Dexcom G7 for CGM.
Okay. And you stay in automated mode most of the time?
Yeah, but it's a few times because I noticed that in manual, I get more
Okay.
low if I don't like, and then if I'm already low, because like I think with manual, it just gives you, it doesn't read off of your numbers, it just gives you the same basal amount, no matter what your number is. So I noticed that I kind of flip sometimes. I'm like 90% in automatic, and then the other 10% I'm in manual because I think that it'll help lower my sugars when they're a little bit too high sometimes.
Okay. How are your correction factors are good? Like you're
Yeah,
able to, like when you do your correction factor, does it bring you back into your target range?
it does. And sometimes I have to manipulate it a little bit. Just say I'm eating more carbs when
Mhm.
it's on automatic, just to give me that extra insulin. And then I also notice like to get good numbers when I'm about to eat, I kind of go ahead and give myself the tell it to give me my medicine, my insulin, like at least 10 to 15 minutes prior.
That's a pre-bolus.
Yeah, because I noticed that when I start eating and then like while I'm eating it, giving myself the insulin or like right before, my sugars start, they go in the 200s.
Right.
So,
So I'm going to let you know this. A pre-bolus in itself will bring your A1C down 1 to 2 points.
mm,
Like literally, it will. If you are say I mean you're at what you say 6.7,
yes,
seven-ish,
between 6 to 7.
6 to 7.
I've gotten all the way down to 5 before, but that's because after transplant, I wasn't eating a lot.
Mhm.
So of course my body was like, I didn't have all those carbs entering my body. So I, for like the first 3 months after transplant, my A1C was like 5.5, which is amazing.
Mhm.
So, 5 is the number to where
Look,
you are
and,
diagnosed.
and I tell everyone that's living with type 1 diabetes, if you want to get there, you can get there.
You can get there.
Like myself, s- over the last since I've been using technology, literally, 2019, I received the A1C. It was 5.6. And since then, my A1C has not been above that 5.6.
Awesome.
And when
Awesome.
I go back and look at like my health record, my medical records, like I had 14.7s, I had 12.2s, 10.2s, a bunch of eights. Like I had
Me
those
too.
things.
I
Like,
had a bunch of eights, but it was one time, that time where I was just being so negligent. I would always take my medicine, but I would not check my sugars. It's like almost like when I was younger, I thought I knew what my body was. I knew I was low. I knew I was high.
Mm.
Sometimes those highs could those
Felt
lows
like,
could feel like a high. I mean, they might, you don't know. So I was just predicting and assuming what my sugar level was, and it wasn't correct. So my A1C around that time was 15. And the lady told me like she literally told me like that's like The Walking Dead. She's like, you do not, and it was harsh, but it was true. She's like, that is asking to be out of here. You don't 15. You have way too much toxicity of sugar in your blood that
Mhm.
should not be there. Like so, that
Right.
probably was a part of my demise and my kidney failure and blood pressure.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. I'm not gonna blame you on that. Really, you were so young when you were
I was
diagnosed. Like you were a baby, man. Like seriously, and I'm sure 12 years old, that coming of age, like
it was really
literally.
when I got in my 19 and up stage, 18 and
Okay.
up. When you have friends that's you going to Miami, you're having fun. You want to live life and you want to do exactly what your friends are doing. But they warn me, adolescent years and the early, like those are the most difficult for people because
Yeah.
they want to do what they should be doing. But you're not like everybody else.
And then mentally, just imagine yourself without diabetes. You would say, I can do anything I want. Like I'm unbreakable.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like I'm built of titanium steel.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop me at that age. And that's like just because we have diabetes at
Mm-hmm.
that age doesn't mean that we shouldn't be able to do all of those things.
And we
Um,
can, but it's just with,
so,
boundary.
so much more caution goes into
Yeah.
living with diabetes, and you just said a whole lot that many people not living with it will not understand. Like even when you were breaking down the aspect of moving on to technology, and people are like who don't live with this is like, why won't you just get the technology? They say it's going to help you.
Yeah.
There's so many different intricacies that comes to technology. Like okay, this is brand new, and you want me to take care of this, and it's going to make my body be a certain way. Like that's like having a small robot attached to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Like, and we know we live in a day and age in society right now where they're talking about having robots as companions and things like that. And we're like, even though we trust the technology we have today, but like,
Yeah.
no, like,
So the extreme.
yeah, it's to the extreme. It's not an option. Yeah,
But I've gotten so comfortable now to the point where I'm a female. So like with us females, it's kind of hard. Like I had my endocrinologist tell me literally like some people won't get these because they don't want to wear it on their body. They don't want it to be physically seen,
mhm.
especially in them summer months when you're wearing shorts and tank tops and stuff. Like you have to. It's going to be seen for the most part. So
Sensory issues.
yeah, like my Omnipod might be right here, or my Dexcom. I usually wear it on my stomach. It's smaller, so but I just kind of got out of the habit of not even caring. I guess it come with age,
Mhm.
because I'm like whatever, and people look. Mostly it's kids. Kids are not afraid to ask, "What is that? What is that?" I just say whatever. I might say it's a fitness thing. I don't know. I make something up, but I don't care anymore. I want to live. I want to be healthy. So
It's all about you.
yeah,
Like it should be. Are you a part of the Atlanta group that I created?
no,
No. So there's an Atlanta T1D group I created because there was a young lady in the Atlanta area 2 years ago. She reached out to me. She was in dire need of insulin supplies and whatnot. So I created an Atlanta group via Instagram. And this same young lady, she would not wear pumps, CGMs at the time. And I'm like, I'm trying to help her because her A1C was like 14 plus. And I said, these are the things that are going to better your life, your survival and things. And so she ended up trying them. And now via Instagram, all you see is her showing her Dexcom, her Omnipod pump, like, And I'm like me, like I'm like it just brings so much joy to me knowing that because she said at that time, she said she had real bad sensory issues. She was like I just can't. And
Yeah.
now today, like I smile seeing her, like I'm never ever going to be like, you did it, like bam, like I knew it. I'm just gonna let her live in her joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to take note to put you in that Atlanta group.
Okay.
Are you in the podcast group?
No. I'm not.
No.
Oops, no.
Oh, so the podcast group, the Chronically Well podcast, People of Color Living with Type 1 Diabetes group is maxed out at 250 people. Um, the podcast started in March, but I've had 250 people in that group since May.
Wow.
Yeah, so some people leave and then I invite more people in. So I have to check to see if it's at its max now, but the conversations are ongoing in that
Yeah.
group. We're
Yeah.
literally having these conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got to make sure that I put you in that group. I did want to transition and ask you, has living with type 1 diabetes over the last 23 years, has it affected relationships, whether it's significant others, friendships, family, peers?
I want to say ultimately no, but I know there's been times where I might have been a little misunderstood because of what diabetes can do. Being irritable when your sugar is low, just not being able to control the situation is a lot for the mind and the body. So it's times where I might come off very, I don't know, hasty, very aggravated, very, it just comes with diabetes. And
Look, I'm gonna call a timeout. Shanell,
yeah.
I want you to speak to the people and let them know this because this one of the things that I want to do with this podcast that I've been doing is having people like you're recording this podcast, so it makes it easier for you to self-explain it to others. Because when people ask us how's diabetes going, we're like, like they like those questions, like this gives you the opportunity to share it. Once it's released, you can just send them a link. Be like, this is how my diabetes is going. So, Shanell,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you again. Has diabetes affected you and relationships?
Yes and no. Yes. Maybe because sometimes they think that I'm just being a hole, but my sugar is low. And then because I look okay at the moment, they might say, you're just using that as an excuse. Well, really, I'm not. I'm really going through it and I need some sugar or something. And you asking me questions or you need me to do this or you asking me some of the most basic stuff, but I can't take that in right now because my body's going through too much. And I can't communicate that with you, right? Because I can't even get it out in words the right way because I'm just going through a sugar low and I just need something. Then I can get back to that. So I think it can affect, depending on who you're dealing with, what you're doing, it can affect the relationships in that moment, unless somebody is there to understand you and know what you're going through.
The cognitive abilities of blood sugars diminishes drastically. That's the first thing. And that's a direct response to high blood sugars, low blood sugars. And when people are asking questions during that time, it may feel as though like we're being ignorant as hell, like, but we're not. We're
They
not.
might think you're stupid.
We can't even really comprehend what it is you're trying to say to us.
No.
Like, I've had people that told me like someone's recorded them during these times and showed them, and they're like, I can't
That's
believe
me.
that was
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. Like, from people who are not living with or have never helped manage a child living with this condition, type 1 diabetes, they truly do not know all of the different steps it takes to manage it, to live with it, like to see it, because they're so used to seeing everyone else in the world being able to overcome different obstacles. This obstacle is more than a physical obstacle. It's
Yeah.
so much more mentally and emotionally than anything.
Facts.
Like,
Yeah, because like if my sugar is really low sometimes, I can get emotional. Like I might start crying. Like I feel like I'm thinking about something so much deeper, but it's like I can't understand why I'm doing this. And then I'll check my sugar and it's like, oh, it's heading low. It's like 75. And once it goes under 70, you're in a low status. So now I'm getting from emotional to frantic because I need something and I can't communicate with someone trying to talk to me in a normal sense. And it's people like my mom and stuff. They, like you said, she raised me. She was there, so she know when I'm almost there. Like your sugar low, ain't it? Because you just said something kind of not wacky, but a little, or you
off
were
the wall.
or you were slurring a little bit, like you were trying to get it out, but it didn't come out clear. So is your sugar low? Check your sugar, and I check my sugar, and I'm like, yeah, yeah,
Mama knows best. Look,
yeah.
always. This past summer, I think it was this past summer. So I was in the kitchen and I was doing something and I'm trying to pour a cup of juice and my wife comes in there and I'm in there and I'm shaking and she's
Mhm.
like, "Are you okay? You okay?" And I'm like, just like this, like, and she's like pouring the juice, like trying to give it to me or whatever. And then I'm like, I put my hands on the counter and like tears just start falling from my eyes.
Mm.
Like, and those are emotions of living with type 1 diabetes.
Yeah.
Because people see, like you
Really?
said, they see grandma and aunties and all that stuff in the media that
Yeah.
they don't understand this.
Yeah, they don't understand that.
They don't
I
understand.
feel really that's really sad because a lot of the people that deal with this are young. We started at young, and it's like we need a platform. We need something to help people because there's millions of us, and it's continuing to be more diagnosed every day than ever before. So it's like we need a platform or something to like this to share with people how to get through this. You're not alone and you can get through it because and all these different things that come with it, pretty much. Because that's the things, like you said, people don't realize.
And we haven't even tapped into the expense of it. Like, can't even take a vacation. Got to get these Dexcoms.
Yeah,
like people
yeah.
don't truly understand that it's so much that goes into it. That's why I'm keen on building communities. Like I can't believe I didn't invite you into these spaces yet, but
Yeah.
I'm going
Maybe you
to.
thought I was already in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to re-invite you into these spaces because no one knows this like we do.
I want to
Even.
share something with you too.
Mhm.
Because I wore my Omnipod on my arm one day. I was at my sister had like a little gathering for her birthday, and it was a young lady. She was younger than me. This was recently.
Mhm.
She saw it and she was like, "Are you diabetic?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Me too." And I'm new out here and I don't know what to do. My sugar has been really high. I'm sick all the time, throwing up. I don't know where to get help. I don't know. They keep denying me. I don't know what to do. I'm new out here. So I kind of like took her number and kind of pointed her to a clinic where like a lot of foreign people go that don't have insurance, but they help you. They can write prescriptions for you. They can give you like an income type of thing. So
Income based.
yeah, stuff like that. So led her there and like, I haven't really checked on her like that, but she was going to reach out. And I'm like, it's a lot of young people and people in general that have no family, no guidance, don't know where to turn to get medicine.
Mhm.
And they just out like living
You're preaching it.
scary.
Hopefully that young lady does reach out to you, but you can have my contact information because this is what I do all day, every day. I do everything I can to lessen this burden. Um, whether that's helping her get insurance, Medicaid, or
Yeah. Yeah.
getting like you said,
Like
clinic
clinic.
that's income based.
Yeah.
Um, and actually getting her to be a part of a community of young people that
Mm.
look like her because um I follow a couple different groups there's a chronic kidney disease, a couple of them that I follow on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't have chronic kidney disease, but many of the people who I help out do.
Mm-hmm.
And just the other day, I was sharing with my cousin because she has chronic kidney disease also.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one young lady who posted about it, and she was like, "Yeah, I've had chronic kidney disease for the last 3 years or whatnot," and she's only like 2021.
That's crazy.
And when she posted her picture, I saw her CGM, and I was like, "Are you a type 1?" And she was like, "Yeah, I've been a diabetic since I was 5 years old." And then there was an influx of young black and brown young women from like age 19 to 30 that started posting pictures of themselves and saying, "I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 8, 12, 4." Like, many people, and that's why I was like, a large percent of the young population that has chronic kidney disease also had or also live with type 1 diabetes.
Yeah, it's really stems from it. To be honest, that's why it's like it's detrimental to take care of your diabetes because it's going to lead to that. And they told me that when I was a kid, like if you don't take care of your diabetes, it leads to organ failure, which could be kidneys, eyes, whatever organ in your body can start to affect it because your sugar is too high, too much. So it's that. And the younger, it really hurts my heart because I had to deal with this in early 30s. I'm mid 30 now. And I was on dialysis at the age of 31 to 33 or 34 and or 32 to 34. And those 2 years of being on dialysis, like I said, it's a lot. You are on a machine, your machine is working as your kidney 3 hours a day, whereas your kidney works 24 hours, 24/7. So if you eat something, you can pee it out, you can get it out. You're not keeping all those toxins
Mhm.
from whatever you eat and put in your body. When you don't have a kidney or your kidney fails, your body you can't urinate. The machine has to do it for you and only for 3 hours every other day. So 3 days a week. So your body is consuming too much fluids. It's a lot. You can't eat certain things. Too much potassium is bad, so you got to cut out things that usually are healthy for you, like bananas and orange juice.
Yep.
It's all
Fiber.
this, it's so much, and then you're tired, you're weak. I had a toddler, so it's like I was just like, and what helped me out was that my husband donated his kidney, and I was able to continue life because
Have
of
we
it.
had this conversation off air before?
I want to say,
About,
yeah,
I think we have, about your husband donating his kidney.
yep. And
Oh,
I've shared things too on my page, like when we first went in, I had like created some reels and stuff. Yeah, he don't.
wow. Brother, I'm going to speak to your husband right now.
Mhm.
Brother, you are more than appreciated. I'm going to gift you these flowers right now in case you ever get the chance to view this, to see this, to hear this, to hear your queen, your lady, the mother of your child, your wife, um, tell this. But thank you. Truly thank you for gifting her this continued blessing of life, because now she's able to, even although she lives with a chronic health condition still, type 1 diabetes, she has to go through, as she mentioned earlier, all of these medications. You gifted back to her some time. Those 2 to 4 hours that she had to get the blood circulating and cleansed
Mhm.
3 times per week,
Mhm.
and only had, and then the other 22 to the 21 to 22 hours, she didn't have that. You've gifted her 22 hours per day,
Mhm.
22 hours per day to love you, to love your child, to love your home, to love everything about you all.
Yeah,
Again, thank you. I truly appreciate him. Man, from one man to another.
that's what's up. That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to share one thing about chronic kidney. People that may need a kidney that might be in situations like where they're on dialysis or their kidney is failing. My husband was not a match. He was not my blood type. They have, like, I'm in Atlanta and there's other cities that provide this. Now it's big. It's called a pair exchange program. So basically, they took his kidney because he's willing. They test him to make sure he's able to even give one. I had like two people test, and one
Mhm.
person found out they were diabetic. They didn't even know. But she was type 2. She was an older person that was in her 50s already that was willing to give me her kidney. And when she went to do the pre-test to see if she can qualify to give a kidney,
Mhm.
she found out she was diabetic. So it's always good to get tested. But he went through the testing. He was healthy enough, and he's type B, and my blood type is O. So they were able to get his kidney, match him with someone else from across the country, and have someone willing to give a kidney on that side that is an O positive, and swap a pair
Look,
exchange.
it was like a trade.
It was a trade, but it's kind of like he saved two lives because
Hmm.
he had the kidney that went in their body was his, and then they were able to save me by giving me a kidney from someone. So yeah, I don't know who kidney I have right now. It could be a child. It could be I don't know what race, sex. I don't know, but I know that kidney was perfect for me. So I wish I could thank them for donating.
So if you want, did you go through Gift of Life?
So they told me because every place is different. They don't allow you to actually know who your donor is.
Yeah, they don't allow that at all.
Yeah, but they have something where they said if you would like to, you can write a letter
Yeah, that's it.
and they making
Pen
like a
that letter. That just thank you.
yeah.
Like, yeah, you can pen that letter and they'll give it to them, and it's
Mhm.
on them if they want to reach back out to you.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you are the fifth person I've recorded with that have gone through chronic kidney disease. One young lady, Dominique, she was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, I want to say February 2022. By May 2023, she got a
Mhm.
transplant. She never ever had to start dialysis.
That's a blessing.
That's what I said. A cousin, she said when she found out all her family members lined up.
See, that's real.
That's
I ain't had too many, but people
exactly
scared because in our community, that's another big thing. People don't understand that. They were so shocked when my husband did it. I guess they were shocked to see a black man do that.
Mhm.
That the doctor himself was like, dude, like he gave him his accolades. Like he was shocked because our community, you don't need two kidneys at all. You only need one.
Right.
So people don't understand that as long as you are healthy, you can give a kidney and save a life, and you'll be fine. Like you're gonna live life like you never gave one. So more people need to be educated on that because it could save. And I have family members who have the same blood type as me that literally
Wouldn't go through the
came up
screen.
with too many excuses as to why they didn't think they would pass, but it's like you didn't try. You didn't get tested. I would have probably, I know this is kind of straightforward, but if I would have passed, then it would have been like, oh,
On the almost like understood.
yeah,
Yeah, for your husband to do that, like he's definitely considered an anomaly.
yeah,
Um, yeah, he does he even know who he gave his kidney to?
no,
He just knew that he was getting back that gift from God, that gift of love from someone else for the lady who he loved most.
yep. He had his surgery at 5 a.m. that day. They took his kidney, put it on a helicopter, flew it to wherever it was going. And then I had my surgery 5 p.m. that day, flew in my kidney because they want to make sure. They had to make sure these get delivered to who they're going to first. And then I get mine. So 5 p.m. I got mine delivered straight to the hospital, a helicopter pad on top of the hospital. Literally is how they do this. Kidney brought down from a freezer, like
Shanell,
freezer bag. It
I've
was
been trying
crazy.
to think about titles for this episode. The first one I wrote down was Trick or Treat. and you know why. That Halloween, your mom's birthday, all of those things. But I just wrote down while you were telling this story, and I wrote down a love story
I like that.
because through this whole process of this recording, you've tried to gift people that added support of, I've been through this. I don't know you, but I don't want you to have to go through the things that I've been through. That's the
Yeah.
benefit of love. Um, Even with, you said, like, once you started using technology and you're like, if you can get access to these gifts, get them. It's a benefit. It's all love. You've
Right.
talked about the young lady who reached out to you who you didn't know. If she saw your I think she saw your Omnipod and was
Mhm.
like, and she asked you if you were diabetic. You exchanged numbers with her and whatnot. That's a gift of love.
Yeah.
You just spoke about your husband and now, like, how y'all were able to conceive a child and all of those things, and how he gave his kidney to someone he doesn't know. You received one from someone you don't know. That's a
Yeah.
gift of love.
It is a gift
Like,
of,
this is truly a love story.
yeah.
And as we do wind down, I want to ask a couple questions. What are some things you think? I mean, being living with this chronic condition takes so much from us. What are some things you've gained? Because I see strength.
Oh, yeah. Strength. That's one of the main, and perseverance, um, determination, um, just the ability not to give up and be strong. Because if I can make it through this, I can make it through anything. Um, so yeah,
Yes, you can, and you will.
yeah,
You will. Your baby won't even know, like, until your child becomes of age where mom and dad want to tell him,
yeah,
you got, what do you have, a little boy or girl?
boy.
Uh, Tell him about this love story.
Hmm.
He won't even know. He's just gonna be like, and then you're gonna tell him, he's like, oh wow.
Yeah, because
He's
it was real.
it was real.
God,
Like,
this is
you're able to do so many things now today.
mm-hmm.
That time is everything.
Time is everything.
Mhm.
Every
Um, you've given a few jewels, gems to people in the community already, but I wanted to ask, like, as we do wrap up again, is there any advice you want to give to anyone that's newly diagnosed, someone who's been living with it for a while, who truly or at a position in life where they're like stuck and don't know where to go or anything? Is there
yeah.
any advice you can share with them?
Please don't give up. Don't give up. It might seem hard today, but you will have a better tomorrow. Just see, there's so many support groups, like you said, on platforms now, like this, and others that will help give people the knowledge on what to do. Um, even if you don't have a lot of money, there's programs that can help fund your medicines and supplies and just even knowledge classes, diabetic classes. Just don't give up because I know it could be so hard, but you can make it and you could live to tell your story to others and motivate them to keep going. It's hard sometimes, but it's okay. You will be okay.
You will be okay because Shanell says so.
Period.
And she's okay, right?
I'm telling you, I'm
Will says
okay.
so.
I
I'm
was,
okay.
I'm telling you, I was throwing up every day during the kidney failure. And I just mentioned kidney failure because it can stem from, that's the worst of you not taking care of your
Did
diabetes.
you have
Don't,
that horrible acid reflux and stuff?
yes, yes. And even with
GERD.
diabetes, you get that. Just without kidney failure, you would have that if your sugar is out of control. So I just want people to take it serious too, because a lot of young people think that it's okay to skip your doses and just live life, please take it serious. The younger you take it serious, the better your outcome will be when you get older. I'm only 35 years old. And these days, people think 35 is old. It's not old. I don't know what's, that's a whole nother subject, but 35 years old is of age now. And I've grown to know that if I was younger and took it more serious, I probably might not have been on kidney failure and dialysis. But, you just have to be serious about what you're living with. And whoever don't understand it, don't care, don't pay them no mind, because they're not going to be there when you go through your worst, more than likely. So you got to step away to take your insulin, go to the bathroom, check your sugar, whatever you got to do, do it. It's okay. It's only a couple seconds, minutes.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Learn a routine, a regimen, and stick to it. Stick to the script. Yeah. We know, like, we've been through school. If you plan things out, you get better outcomes.
That's right.
That's what we got to do with our lives. There's nothing more important, because we can't be the parents, the loves that we want or that everyone else deserves if we don't take those important steps and measures.
That's right.
So I want to wind down. This is my last question I leave with all guests. Shanell, because you've gone through chronic kidney disease, kidney transplant. I wish you were able to get that pancreas transplant at the same time. I just spoke with someone a month ago. Yeah, his episode is out. He got a dual kidney pancreas transplant, and he's like living his best life.
I bet I couldn't, because when you get the pancreas, it's a deceased pancreas. So I had a living donor, and you would have to wait. You know what I'm saying? You have to wait to get a pancreas when it's available. And I didn't want to wait on my kidney. It was one of those, you need to do it when you can, so.
All right. So my last question for you is, on the day a cure is here, Miss Shanell Becton, on the day a cure is here, readily available, you've been fully cured of type 1 diabetes. On that day, what do you do?
Scream and shout.
Scream and shout.
Scream and shout.
And make sure you shout it and scream it to all of us so we can get up and scream and shout with you.
Definitely. I will definitely share, because that'll be, people didn't live to see that. So if I live to see that, yeah.
And on that note, Ms. Shanell Becton, I thank you for joining me on the Chronically Well podcast, where we hold real conversations with community that need to be heard, because Shanell, you definitely are someone that needs to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
I appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Just let you know, I have about maybe 10 episodes ahead of yours to be released, but I'm shooting for February the 14th. I wrote it down.
Okay.
Because it's a true love story.
All
right.
That's dope.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is it on YouTube?
It's on every platform. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. Chronically Well Podcast.
Bet.
All right. Enjoy the day.
You too. Thank you.